HOA demanded I uproot my garden. I grew a forest they couldn't cut down. My name's Dana Vu, 36, environmental science teacher, proud daughter of Vietnamese immigrants, and, as of 6 months ago, public enemy number one in Maple Oak subdivision. I bought this place after my divorce, a cozy two-bedroom bungalow with a generous front yard, west-facing sun, and a soil pH that practically begged for life. I moved in with three things: my rescue dog, Bo, a trailer full of heirloom seeds, and a quiet dream of turning my lawn into a thriving microhabitat. It started with native plants: milkweed, black-eyed Susans, goldenrod. Then came the vertical trellis for climbing beans, a rain barrel setup, and rows of wildflowers to bring in pollinators. I posted signs: pesticide-free zone, monarch safe haven, and a small wooden plaque that said, "Let it grow." People stopped to admire it. Kids picked a few blossoms on the way home from school. I even gave cuttings away to neighbors. I felt rooted again. Then came the letter, hand-delivered, no stamp, no name, just your yard violates the HOA guidelines. Remove all unapproved vegetation within 10 days or face fines. That's when I met her. Karen, real name. Believe it or not, stood in the street with her arms crossed like a traffic barricade in human form. Blonde bob, pearls, clipboard, weaponized smile. "You can't just let it grow wild," she said. "It's not neat. It lowers property values." I told her, respectfully, that I never signed anything about an HOA when I bought the house. She smirked. "Oh, honey, we're more of a traditional enforcement body. You'll learn." I learned all right. By day 12, I had received 3 more notes, a $150 fine, and 2 urgent compliance warnings printed on letterhead that looked suspiciously like it came from a 1997 version of Microsoft Word. I reached out to the city. No registered HOA. I asked my title agent. No recorded covenants. Karen's authority fabricated. Her influence, unfortunately, very real. She'd convinced nearly a dozen neighbors to join her self-proclaimed garden oversight committee. They walked past my yard muttering about invasives and hippie mess. One even took pictures. So I did the opposite of what they wanted. I expanded, added fruit trees: peach, plum, persimmon, brought in a compost tumbler, planted shade-tolerant understory plants like ferns and wild violets. My yard became an ecosystem, buzzing, blooming, beautiful. Karen lost it. The morning she snapped, I was watering my irises. Bo lay at my feet, belly to the sky. Then I heard the crack. Karen had crossed onto my property and snapped a freshly planted sapling, clean at the trunk. I ran over. "What are you doing? It's unauthorized greenery," she shrieked. "You were warned. You don't own this yard." She stomped through mulch, tore a vine down from its trellis, and screamed. "This isn't a forest, it's a neighborhood." Neighbors peeked out. Someone across the street filmed. Bo barked furiously. I stood between her and my raised beds, chest heaving. "You've lost your damn mind," I said. "You're trespassing. You're destroying property." "I'm preserving order," she snapped. And that, my friends, was the moment I snapped too. I didn't sleep that night. Bo kept pacing the hallway, and I kept pacing the floor. The broken sapling lay just outside the window, like a corpse at a crime scene. By sunrise, I had a plan. First step: document everything. I took photos, videos. I dug up every fake letter Karen had ever slid under my door. I also gathered testimonies from neighbors who'd received similar threats, especially older residents. Turns out, Karen had enforced fines for everything from wind chimes to tomato planters, all under the guise of some invisible HOA that existed only in her imagination and her Canva account. But the real twist came when Miss Lorraine next door showed me an email. It was from a landscaping company sent months ago to Karen's personal email, offering a 15% commission for every property she referred that switched to low-maintenance turf conversion. Turf, plastic grass. That's when it clicked. Karen was trying to turn our street into a synthetic showroom for some startup landscaping scheme, the Garden Oversight Committee. It was a front, She was hoping to make our block the company's pilot project. My wild yard. It was bad for business. And she didn't just want my plants gone, she wanted a paycheck. I went public. I wrote a post titled "When HOA Means Harassing Our Allies" and shared my photos, videos, and Lorraine's screenshots. I posted it in a local Facebook gardening group with over 30,000 members. I tagged the city, I emailed environmental orgs, and I put up a sign in my yard. This garden is under attack, but roots run deep. 2 days later, the story hit the news. I got a call from a local reporter, then a county commissioner, then a producer from a national morning show. The headline, Eco Warrior versus Fake HOA Tyrant Who Owns the Front Yard That Weekend. Something amazing happened. Neighbors I'd never met brought over seeds, compost, and potted plants. Kids made cardboard signs that said, "Save the forest" in Karen, "Leave the flowers alone." A retired vet who lived 3 blocks over offered to install a solar-powered wildlife cam to protect the yard. We weren't just neighbors anymore. We were a coalition. Karen showed up during one of our gatherings. Red-faced, furious. She stood at the edge of my property, arms trembling, yelling about property uniformity and legal consequences. Someone handed her a flyer about native bee conservation. Someone else handed her a petition signed by 114 local residents demanding the city issue a cease and desist against her fake committee. She tried to argue, but someone in the crowd yelled, "Show us the HOA charter." Silence, and then I spoke. There is no charter. There is no HOA. There is just a woman who hates life she can't control. Phones recorded every second. Karen stormed off. That video hit 1 million views in 3 days. Turns out, Karen's side hustle wasn't just unethical, it was illegal. The landscaping company, desperate to distance themselves, confirmed they had cut ties with her and launched an internal investigation. The city issued a formal statement declaring her Garden Oversight Committee unauthorized and banned her from engaging in any public enforcement activity. And remember those fake fines, they became the basis of a class action lawsuit. Karen's name is now tied to one of the first legal cases in our county involving fraudulent HOA practices. She sold her house a month later, quietly, no yard sale, no wave goodbye, just a moving truck, some silence, and a lingering scent of synthetic turf. With Karen gone, something beautiful took root. The city passed a resolution protecting eco-yards, stating that native plant habitats and vegetable gardens are not only allowed, but encouraged. Our little street, it's now unofficially known as Pollinator Alley. We've got an Instagram account, a QR code garden tour, even a community compost club that meets every other Sunday. And my yard, it's been certified by the National Wildlife Federation as an official urban habitat. Bo still guards the peach tree that replaced the sapling Karen broke. And I sit out front every morning, coffee in one hand, letting the bees and butterflies remind me that justice, like nature, always finds a way. Karen tried to control nature, to flatten it into something sterile and safe. But life can't be boxed in. Life breaks sidewalks. Life splits fences. Life grows back. Whether it's a garden, a person, or a community, if it's rooted in care, it will rise again. Call to action. Have you or someone you know faced unjust rules from fake authority figures? What should communities value, control or compassion? Tell us below. Share your experience and let's grow a new vision of justice together.